Hi guys, I've said before that the DUP are probably the dumbest party in Europe. They campaigned for a Brexit they didn't understand or care about the consequences of. Their hatred of Ireland and Europe meant that they closed their eyes and ears to the threats to the Union it obviously meant. Then, when they got that Brexit, instead of owning up and admitting that they were wrong, they threw a tantrum and demanded a different type of Brexit. Following their failure to get rid of the Northern Ireland Protocol and their stagnation at the local elections, it has been rumoured that they will bite the bullet and get back into government with Sinn Féin. However, Iain Paisley, one of their MPs, poured cold water on that. Have a listen.
Post-election, I think it's very, very clear to see that the idea that the Assembly's coming back anytime quickly is for the birds.
But you know the rumours it's coming back September, October.
Well, the only people who've spread these rumours has been people in the media and, of course, our enemies. And they've been spinning and saying, oh, the DUP, once they get through the election, have the marching season, then they'll be back in the autumn. I just don't know.
So can you rule out your party coming back in the autumn?
I can't rule it out or in on this basis that we set out a series of tests. Those tests have still got to be met. So,
okay, we'll get to the tests in just a moment. So what the hell is Iain Paisley doing here? Now, there have been other rumours, that Iain Paisley wants to replace the current leader, Sir Jeffrey Donaldson, at the top of the DUP. Now, why would he want to do that, or why would this be happening? Because it seems there's a split taking place within the DUP. Because there are some who want to get into government because they realise, look, we can't stay outside all the time. This is damaging to the party, and it's damaging to the union as well. Damaging to Northern Ireland's position, because if the executive is not operating, it gives ammunition, excuse the pun, to Sinn Féin, because it suggests, well, look, they're right, Northern Ireland is not working, because the DUP is refusing to allow the executive to be formed. The next step, of course, would be joint administration, joint authority, where you have both the British and Irish governments running Northern Ireland. And that's not something unionists want to see. So you'd have to blame the DUP for that. But as I said, there's perhaps a split taking place within the DUP. Some who want to get into the executive because they realise, look, we have to do something. And you have the more hardliners who say, no, we're not getting into government with Sinn Féin. What is he talking about, these tests? Well, these are the 7 tests that the DUP put to the British government, I believe, or at least to get rid of the Northern Ireland Protocol. So they say here, fulfill Article 6 of the Act of Union. Article 6 of the Act of Union is in regards to the United Kingdom and Ireland. But Northern Ireland is not part of the Act of Union, in this part of the Act of Union. Northern Ireland didn't exist at the time. The Act of Union is from hundreds of years ago, well before the formation of Northern Ireland. So that's gone. Avoid any diversion of trade. A big problem with a lot of these tests is that they're not in Northern Ireland, can't do anything about it. So even if the executive was running, the executive has no control over trade. This is about the British government. Not constitute a border in the Irish Sea, well, that's gone. Give the people of Northern Ireland a say in making the laws which govern them, which is ironic, of course, because the DUP campaigned for Brexit, so they wanted out of the European Union. So now they say, well, the people of Northern Ireland should have a say in the making of these laws. Well, if these are EU laws and Northern Ireland is not part of the EU, then what do you want? What do you want? Of course, they want Northern Ireland out of the single market, and that's their problem. Northern Ireland, of course, is part of the single market when it comes to goods. So this idea, the people of Northern Ireland have a say. In a sense, they do. The executive will be able to, via the Northern Ireland break, they will be able to, in a sense, stop some legislation going in. But once again, it will require the British government deciding to go ahead with that. The DUP seem to not understand that the whole crux of Brexit is a negotiation between the British government and the EU, not Northern Ireland or not unionist parties and the EU. Number 5, result in no checks on goods going from Northern Ireland to GB and from GB to Northern Ireland. It seems that's going to be gone as well, because there are checks starting from October on goods moving from Northern Ireland into GB. Of course, it has been for some time, checks on goods moving from GB into Northern Ireland. Once again, this is nothing that the DUP can do anything about. There's nothing the Northern Ireland executive can do anything about. This all, the responsibility lies with the UK government. Ensure no new regulatory borders develop between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK. Well, that's gone as well. That's going to happen in October. Once again, nothing that the DUP can do about it. Why are you putting these requirements on forming the executive if the executive has no control over this? And finally, preserve the letter and spirit of Northern Ireland's constitutional guarantee in the Belfast Agreement by requiring consent from a majority of its citizens on any diminution of its status as part of the United Kingdom. This is regards to the Belfast or Good Friday Agreement. It has nothing to do with the Northern Ireland Protocol. And consent in the Good Friday Agreement is about the future of Northern Ireland. But the Northern Ireland Protocol doesn't affect the future of Northern Ireland from a constitutional point of view. It only affects goods moving from Great Britain into Northern Ireland or vice versa. So what is the DUP playing at here? I think this is once again a power game, power struggle within the party for the position of leader. Iain Paisley, it seems, wants to be the new leader, and of course he's going to take the hardliner approach of saying no, never, no surrender to the EU. While it seems, which is weird for us to say, but it seems that Jeffrey Donaldson is the more pragmatic character in the DUP. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.